Everyone would tell me, do not do that.
Today's guest is Gary Cardone.
I love taking on these big companies.
Gary has spent his life where decisions are irreversible, pressure is constant, and outcomes matter.
I learned one great thing in college, and that was, if you're not sitting there thinking about, hey, what is freedom? The power that's sitting inside of me as a being is absolutely spectacular.
This is a conversation about how he thinks and how real success is built over a lifetime.
This trade has gone wrong, I'm wrong, we need to close it out. Now, what happened? When you really look around, you go, wow, who is willing to tell the truth?
Welcome to another episode of the Executive Lounge podcast. Today in the studio, I have my mentor, someone that I really admire. I'm really honored. I have entrepreneur, investor, father, and a disruptor in the studio, Gary Cardone. Welcome to the podcast.
Good to see you, buddy.
And thank you for your time. I really appreciate you jumping in here. And I've prepared so many questions. I'm probably the most prepared I've ever been for this interview. So let's get into it. And would you like to start with me giving some context to them, how we met, or just jump into like questions right away?
It's your show, man. You get to create it.
So we met with Gary. I met Gary back in 2018. I did not even live in the US. That was a business show in Las Vegas. You were a speaker. You did. I was just attendee. You never met me. Fast forward a few years, we met again in Miami at the Bitcoin show. I don't know who I'm gonna meet at the Bitcoin show. I was just exploring. So I see Gary, and I know that you're Gary Cardone. So I'm like, Gary Cardone? He's like, who are you? And I'm like,
I was trying to sneak into Bitcoin without anybody seeing me.
So I recognized this cat, and I was fortunate enough to learn a lot from you and do some business together as well. So that's been awesome, and we're in St. Pete because of Gary. So I finally found my home, and I tell everyone, this is the best place on earth. I was going back from Saudi Arabia or wherever, and we met for drinks here. And I was going back to your events, like you were hosting events related to business. But you invited me here, I come over, let's catch up for a few drinks, and we talked, and I'm like, I'm moving here. And I made a decision, next month, I'm in St. Pete. I moved everything, I'm in St. Pete. So,
awesome, good move.
So Gary, thank you very much. I mean, our business is exploding because of your mentorship. So just wanted to say thank you and just recognize the impact that you're having on my life. And the people that we hire. We have 20 employees and growing, so they're indirectly also impacted. But
thank you.
Anyway, now let's take me back to Lake Charles, Louisiana, because you have this funky, very strong Southern accent.
Yes, sir, I do.
But you lived in London, so you didn't really rub off too much from that London.
My accent, when I went to London, my accent got worse. If you notice, my accent is stronger than Grant's. And I believe that when I went to London, I was so, what's the word for it? The odds against me succeeding in London with this accent and my lack of education was next to zero. Like, no one would even take the other side of the bet how long I would last there. They were all like, this guy's gonna burn out so fast. What I learned very quickly was the only thing I had was my accent. And the Brits, which I love the Brits, I absolutely adore the Brits, hate what's happening to their country because they allowed, it seems like all the men turned into little girls. But the Brits thought I went to bed every night with 2 6 guns on my side. I do carry, but they literally thought I went to bed with guns because they were like, man, this guy's got a big old deep accent. And it was just my only thing. It was the only charm I had to make a difference. And my accent really got appreciably worse. And I blame this all on the Brits.
You blame them, and it's a love-hate relationship in a way.
Yeah.
But how did you get out of Lake Charles? It gets you
As fast as I could. As soon as I left college, I studied marketing and economics, which I found to be about 3 years too long. I learned one great thing in college, and that was in my economics class. I remember the teacher walking up to the chalkboard, and he drew a big chart, big L curve, and he said, when supply exceeds demand, prices will fall, and when demand exceeds supply, prices will rise. I'm like, I'm done. I am done, dude. That's all I need to know. That was beautiful. And it was very interesting that for some reason, and I think a really good lesson for people is that you're going to get messages throughout your life. I have received messages throughout my life. I received a message when I was 7 years old that I knew would be a defining, 7 years old, I knew it would be a defining challenge for me my whole life. I don't know why, but I received some of these, wouldn't call them callings, but they're messages, right? And if you hold on to them and realize, hey, they're important. Why did I have that experience when I was 7? Or why did I have that experience when I was sitting in that economics class going, that's all I need to know. And literally, supply and demand, literally everything I have ever done in business, literally everything, has always been related to supply and demand. Like the entire business could literally get boiled down to that ethos, right? And where it was not present, I would not participate because it's not something I understood. I don't understand anything else but supply and demand, which brings me to this one thing. Like it's 40 years of looking at commodities, and that's where I would end up. But I would leave school because Lake Charles was too small for me. The zip code 70601 was too small for me. I needed to get away from my mommy, and my dad had died already. My older brother had died, so I knew, hey, look, man, people die.
How many siblings did you have?
I had 5 siblings, all 5 years apart, and I couldn't get out of the town fast enough because I was gonna end up really lost in a place that I knew so
So you
well.
were desperate to get out, not
Well, I was going to die
inspired.
there. There was no, look, I was being defined by being Gary Cardone, a twin, a bad boy, a naughty boy, too aggressive, maybe probably challenged. I was hanging around the wrong people. I loved girls. I would go chase girls, waste a bunch of my time. And I didn't know who I was. Like I did not learn who I was until the moment I got in a car and drove across the Texas border into my adventure. And my adventure was life, right? It's like, oh shit, I remember turning on Leonard Skinner, going through Beaumont and listening to That Smell, which is one of my favorite songs in the whole world. I know it's dark, but it's one of my favorite songs in the whole world. And I'm like, man, I am on. Finally, my adventure has started, dude. Nobody's holding me back. No teachers, no schedules, no bosses. This is my journey. No twin, no mommy. And my mom did me a really, 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 her name was Gary Cardone. She was awesome. She did me a great gift once. Well, Grant and I were really completely out of control. Completely out of control. Like, I'm so lucky to be alive, not in prison. So lucky I didn't hurt anybody. I probably did hurt some people, but I remember coming home one day and she said, hey, you can never come back into this home again.
No way. Your own
19-ish, maybe. You can never come home here. Take your underwear and all your clothes, and I will never clean another item for you. Go figure it out. And she cut the line. She was like, you're a piece of shit, okay? You behave poorly. And she cut the line. It was awesome.
She had to be the man because you're
yeah,
dad.
it was like, I don't know how she got the courage to do that. but she burned the bridge. I learned a great lesson, by the way, that the burn the bridge is a massive super skill that nobody really fully appreciates.
Unpack that. What does it mean?
Well, what did my mom do? She had the guts to make me stand up without any kind of trampoline to fall into, a safety net.
Right.
I believe all men have mommy issues. Okay, people make fun of me because I talk about this. Women have daddy issues, and men have mommy issues. And she did what many tribes do thousands of years ago, hundreds of years ago. I should have done it at 14, not 19. She cuts the breast of comfort from the child, from the boy, and she says, "You must go with the men now." And she cuts the umbilical cord, the emotional umbilical cord. She's no longer there to be the nurse, to be the nurturer. Like, at some point, dude, you had to quit nurturing my ass. I needed to toughen up.
What did you feel?
And burning the bridge, her saying, "Hey, you cannot never come back here." I had to learn how to cook my own meal.
Were you like, "Okay, I'm leaving"?
Oh, for sure. Well, no, I mean, like, she was serious. Like, you don't have a place. So me and Grant went and found a place, and then we had to start taking care of it. And then Grant went off the rails.
So you guys lived together
for a little bit,
time?
But it was insane, man. Me and my brother shouldn't really be in the same country together. And if you notice, we have lived, like, this is the closest we've ever lived together, and we really spend very little time. He lives in Miami, I live here, and like, I don't think I've seen the guy like 5 times in 5 years. When I was in London, he was in LA. It seemed like the right amount of distance. Mm-hmm. He and I in the same city is a disaster.
Do you think over the years you've changed slightly? Because some people they say that you kind of recalibrate your values, and because you got closer, like you guys were very close, then farther away, and then like different bubbles in a way.
Well, we took very different paths. I think Grant stayed in Louisiana till he was like 29 or 30. I would have died there. I mean, I needed to move out. My message to everyone is, until you have gotten out of your zip code, until you remove yourself from the safety net of your family, until I removed myself from the safety net of the girlfriends that I knew and my little boyfriends. And look, just because I was born someplace does not mean that is where my adventure is going to take place. And if you look at the great adventurers of the world, they didn't, like the great people of the planet, they didn't just sit around in the cave they were born in. They went out and discovered. And what do you discover? You discover yourself. It's not like I'm going to go discover Rome and the Colosseum. I'm going to discover myself in that journey, right? Oh, wow. For instance, I have never traveled alone for pleasure, ever. I'm scared to do it, terrified. Wow. Yet I have traveled alone in every business that I've always been alone.
Interesting.
There's nobody there holding my hand, but I wouldn't go on holiday by myself. I would find that to be really scary. Now, that tells me that I need to go on holiday by myself. See, for me, that's the deal. It's like I have to do things that get me a little uncomfortable. Getting out of that, driving over the bridge of Louisiana was like, okay, dude, I'm starting my adventure. And that would take me, I was probably 20, and I would never go back to Lake Charles. I would end up in Corpus Christi. I got a job in Houston. They put me down in Corpus. I spent 3 years in Corpus. Then I moved to Houston.
And you're becoming a disruptor here, because you call yourself a disruptor. It's one of the, and you've done it 3 times. And that's the first time you do it, right? That's in the energy.
Well, I happened to get, I talked a man into giving me a job into an industry I had no idea about. Look, I knew what I didn't want to do. There was some things I most certainly did not want to do. And I had already identified, I took one of these dumb tests in college. Hey, this is who you're going to be. You're going to be a pharmaceutical salesman. And I went and got all prepped to be a pharmaceutical salesman. I scored top grades. They didn't know why I could score top grades. I'm like, I've done most of these drugs. I had this affinity for chemistry. I used to read all the, I'd sit in the bathtub and read the backs of ingredients on shampoo and learn how to pronounce the words. And I don't know why I did that, but I get these top scores. I get a job offer. I go they pack up my car with a bunch of drugs, and I'm driving around, talking to doctors for 3 days. I'm like, there is no way I am going to spend the rest of my life waiting in a doctor's office, talking to a nurse, begging to sell some drugs to a doctor. I dude, this is gonna kill me. No chance. I did not spend 12 years in school to do this. It's just not the way I'm gonna live my life. So I had to figure out what I wasn't gonna do. And then I ended up in this field that I knew nothing about. And I was like, hey, I can learn here. And that would be the commodity business, the natural gas business, which would be the supply and demand piece. And then I started seeing things in that industry that made no sense to me. And that would be the disruptive part. That would be I was gifted the universe. I was at the right time, at the right place by accident. And the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, FERC, came in, this is in the Reagan era, and they changed all the rules of how natural gas flowed in America. And the people that had come before me that had been in the industry, big lesson I learned here. Ooh, people that have been in an industry for 20 years never change that industry. They can't change it because they're all club members. They're all going to the golf parties together. All the lawyers here in St. Pete, you think you're hiring a lawyer for your defense. Well, the guy he's going against, they have dinner every Friday night. They're not going to really offend each other. They're all in the same club until that whole industry got really disrupted, natural gas in this case. It was guys like me that went, hey, there's 10 cents here. People are like, 10 cents? Ooh, we don't bother each other for 10 cents. I'm like, I'm trying to buy 3 billion cubic feet a day, man. 10 cents is a monster number. And they looked at it and went, no, 10 cents, we don't worry about 10 cents. Well, today they worry about 1/10 of a cent, right? But that would be, I had no connection to the way the party was played before I got there. All I looked at was, wow, natural gas prices are $7.20, and the guy's only moving 10% of it. I think I'm going to offer to move 90% of the rest of it at $1. And be like, hey, you're crazy, dude. He's not going to do that. Oh, somebody's going to do it sooner or later. Because there's all this natural gas just sitting there collecting dust, really collecting time. And so that would transform the energy markets in the United States. The energy markets in the United States and Europe, because of 150 men, is I can honestly say, ironically, they were the most efficient markets in the world today because you allowed a bunch of creative disruptors to go in there and create a proper market based on pricing and volumes and rules.
That's where you started learning
that's where I learned how to
the patterns, because then you moved to another deal in the fintech world.
Well, this would take a long time though. I would spend 20 years. See, this is the thing. People look at me and go, well, you've always been successful. Hey man, I spent from 21 years old till 40 doing one thing. I worked for one company from 26 years old till 42. 17 years, one company. I don't look like a company guy. I'm not really a company guy. I'm a great team member. But this company...
What was the incentive for
platform, because the platform, people undervalue platforms. I had no skill. I had no knowledge really. I had some good instincts and I'm a good worker. but I didn't know anything, and I knew that I didn't know anything. Like, I was very humble going, I was happy to have a job. I think my first job was $27,000 a year. I thought I was being overpaid. I was being overpaid, man.
That was back in,
This is in 1984, 85, something like that.
that would have been probably like 65,000 for adjusted for
Whatever, dude,
inflation.
it was too much because I didn't know anything. You know, people, I once a day probably, hey, will you hire me? Nah, I won't hire you, dude. Why do I want to hire you? Well, I can help you. No, you're not going to help me. For 6 months, you're going to be a pain in my ass.
You said that people know the price of everything, but they don't know the value, and I think that
Dude,
ties back
it's
to
amazing, really, to me. The people know the price of everything and the value of very little. And like for me, having a coach, having a team, learning a game that's very complex, I would pay millions for that. Even today, I would.
But you had to see the opportunity because you know the value, so you see the opportunity. How do you?
Well, I didn't think I had many opportunities, so it was
Okay.
easy to see one. See, I was lost. I was very lost. And I think there's really a lot of magic in being
Lost as in like human being, lost in a career, or
maybe all of it, you know. But I didn't know what I was doing really. I had no. People that are wealthy now, you know, you look at them and you go, oh wow, like it's all easy. Like I was lost most of the time. I just didn't give up. I did not give up. And I didn't make too many mistakes. I learned very early on that attrition is a real thing. When you're competing in the world, attrition is important. Let other people make the mistakes. Like, let everybody else fuck it up, man. All I got to do is keep my nose clean and focus and produce. The production would make up for all my flaws. I mean, the first time when I got hired by Natural Gas Clearinghouse, which would be the platform, I finally found a platform. I knew the pharmaceutical business was, dude, I'm not working here. This isn't my platform. Okay? I'll end up stealing all the drugs and doing them. Because I hated the industry. I just hated it. I'm not saying anybody that does that's bad. It just wasn't my deal, right? It would be well under my ability. I needed to get into a highly competitive space, almost like a professional athlete, where I didn't have any time to think. I was working 7 days a week, just trying to hold on, you know, just trying to compete.
and you don't think like big picture at that time. You were very focused.
I'm not thinking about I actually have never really thought about what I was doing. This is not planned out. This is not so unplanned.
Very into experience.
Very into each experience deeply, like I'm dropping myself into an acid experience. Like go deep, go commit to the death, and guess what I have? I will have more passion and zealotry than other people. I remember a guy in London once telling me, he was probably 20 years older, and I'd had 3 or 4 meals with him, and he said, I don't believe a word you're saying. I don't believe anything you're saying. I don't believe you're going to come in here and transform the energy markets. This guy worked for a big monopoly. He said, but I will say one thing. I cannot remember this guy's name. He said, but I will say one thing. I am highly compelled by your belief in yourself and your belief in what you're doing. Like your zealotry, he used the word. He said, dude, your zealot, it's infectious. And I was like, wow, that's important. That's important. Here's a guy 20 years older than me. He runs a monopoly, and he's like, I don't believe a word you're saying, but I believe in your belief in yourself.
Where did you develop that?
Because that's, know, man.
You remember when we met, we were on a few initial calls for business. We're in the digital assets. And I remember that, just for people who are listening, maybe they can get something out of that. I'm this Polish orphanage. From the orphanage, the guy, came on pretty much the boat here through Mexico. And I say 3 times, oh, I'm just Polish, please forgive me, something like that. You say after the call, say, never say that again.
Yeah.
Never say that again. I'm like, okay. Next call, I do it again. You say, I told you, never say that again. I'm like, oof. Kind of, it's like a friction to me because it's like I have to apologize, you know.
It was your little bouquet of
The
flowers.
third time you say, never say that, I never said that again.
Good for you, man.
Never ever. So just going back to like the impact and on the example on that note, just wanted to share. So anyway, so going back, so where did you develop that? That's I don't know if it's
I think the zealot piece comes from, see, I knew something he didn't know, and I knew I was right, and I
How
was
did
willing.
you know that?
I don't know how I have had a particular skill, and I don't really know. I don't think I need to know why.
Mm-hmm.
I just need to know I have a gift. I don't need to go and wonder why I have it. I need to exercise the gift and not exercise things that aren't my gifts.
Wow.
And this is why I use really bizarre analogies like, hey, I would throw my life into like an acid trip, because notice I don't watch football, I don't watch baseball, I've never been an athlete because I'm not an athlete. I wasn't built to be an athlete. But like everyone can have, like I have a mind and I have an opinion, and the question is, a lot of people have opinions, but are you willing to bet behind it? Like really a bet. And for me, betting is a way of me. Sometimes I think people think I'm being obnoxious because I go, hey, would you like to bet like, $500,000 on this? And it's my way of asking someone, hey, how sure are you? Because I have yet to see you put a penny behind your idea. I have yet to see you put 14 hours behind
That's awesome.
your desire to be an artist. Like if I want to be an artist, I need to pick up the paintbrush. And I need to paint, man. I don't need to read books about painting. I need to paint. I don't need to go see other people's paintings. I need to paint. This is what I've learned. Like my IQ is not any stronger than anyone else's. I look at my brother. I think my brother's an awesome human being, but it's not like he was given a perfect roadmap. And I mean, he only made his money when he was about 50 years old. 50, like 50. Okay, I had already smoked it. I mean, completely smoked it by 40. But they're different journeys, right? They're different journeys. He followed his journey. I could never have done what he did. Could not. I wasn't built to do. I don't like all that attention. He loves that. He was built for this, right? And so to find what you were built for is I think it's the great missing piece. No one ever asks themselves, what am I built for?
That ties to one of one.
That, yes, I do think it ties to one-on-one. Now I didn't know that.
And the platform and
the platform is more important than the one-on-one-ness, because like there's no sense in me being on a football team. I'm not going to bring any value to a football team. Okay, I might be able to do some marketing, but like I want to be. I would have been a great soldier, which would turn me into a great general. But I had to be a soldier before I would be a great general. And if you ask all the military guys what they hate about military life, they hate reporting to people that have never been a soldier. The best generals on the planet have been great soldiers.
That's because they've never lived the experience, or.
Well, I think in order to lead, you have to know what a follower feels like, and to me, it's very hard if you've. Anyway, I think there's the reason I use the analogy of war is that war is a finite game. It's a game for keeps, and I always find it interesting that people go, "Hey, quality of life, quality of life." I'm like, quality of life. Let me see now. I live in the Ukraine, and I'm 22 years old, and I'm called up for service. I'm married. I have 2 children. I don't do hey, I have a quality of life. Like, no, I'm shipped off. and I go do my shit, and hopefully I don't get my legs blown off. Hopefully I don't get so traumatized I become a liability to, but like, this is the kind of surrender that makes greatness. It's not, oh, let me call my honey. Like when I'm traveling, I never call my children. 15 years, dude, I do not call my kids. It kills me. It kills me to talk to my kids. I'm like, oh, what am I doing in London talking to some jack-off at WorldPay about payments when I could be hanging out with my daughter? She's 6 years
You don't want
old.
distractions.
I don't want any, and what, like, who are we serving here? My kids don't know what I'm doing. They just know I'm gone. Let them get on with their life, man. But it's not a distraction, right? The distractions are, I'm a very focused human being. I'm unhappy being all dispersed, but allow me to stick my beak into something that's really deep and broad and complex and exciting.
Yeah. So let me challenge you here on the focus. Because once you said, I was so focused on the deal, on the second deal you were doing in the fintech space. You said I was so focused on that deal that I missed the third deal, which eventually you got into.
Yeah.
The Bitcoin boat. So you said to me, I remember, I think we were having drinks, and you said, so be focused but slightly open. You somehow like that. Just if I was slightly open, is that the strategy? Like, what would you, if you could go back? I'm not saying that everybody could have bought Bitcoin at $200-300. That's not the point. The point is, as we go through life, I'm in 2 industries right now, and I'm focused on them, but I'm slightly open on the deal because you have way more experience. So I'm slightly open on the deal. I'm not betting the farm on the Bitcoin deal, but I'm slightly open. I took that lesson from you. How would you frame it?
One, I think if you find an area that you really find compelling, that's all you have to do. Like, you got to dig it, right? There's something about it that you dig. It's either the game or the fear or and then once you find a platform where people allow you to exercise your muscle. I'm an odd human being, so I was never going to fit working at Exxon. That's the other thing. I knew things that weren't going to happen for me. I was never going to work at a large corporation. Capgemini was never going to hire me. FIS is never going to hire me. I'm a nightmare for HR. Night fucking mare. I'm a nightmare if they work for me, and I'm a nightmare if they're trying to manage me. And I think HR actually, as a group of people, they do more harm on creativity than they do good for an organization. It's always irritated me. So I think. Look, I know very few things about very much. I'm probably so dumb that I just look at one space, and I happen to get into industries that were so massive that there's no, like, you can't really think about selling cars or insurance. It's like, dude, this thing's so deep and so fast moving. I love the disruptive part, okay? I like, that is my gift. It's like to be able to go into something and either shake it up so much that I erase the canvas that it was built on. I erase the canvas. I'm not good at something that's already, like, see this painting? Like, I could never finish this painting, but I can appreciate the shit out of it. And you give me a blank canvas and I'll start playing with it. I don't know that I'll ever be able to be this good, but I think the power that went into, like, this person did not do this one time. Okay, you like, whatever you paid for this is too cheap, because this person went through a lot of pain. There's so many canvases you never saw. And so when I see people go, hey, I'll give you $50 for that, it's like, dude, that's why I don't sell my art. Fuck off, dude. Okay, like, I have no idea how much pain that went into this man's life or woman's life to paint this. But it was not just this painting. No chance. And then you look at Pablo Picasso and you go, God dang, dude, how many paintings did we not see of his? Okay, How many, Babe Ruth, what do we know Babe Ruth as? Babe Ruth is, the greatest home run hitter of all time. He was a speed freak, an alcoholic, a complete degenerate, and he struck out more than any human being on the planet. Yet we remember him as the greatest home run hitter in history. Dude, that's good for me. I don't have to be perfect. I have to be great at one thing. Really great at one thing, right? And that's an insurance policy. And it's just back to me being, hey, I'm not that smart, okay? But like, you cannot defy that strategy isn't a great strategy. Oh, wow, I just have to be awesomely great at one thing. And hopefully it's a big enough thing to keep me interested, to have fun. I knew I was not going to have fun selling pharmaceuticals. Okay? Like have fun. If I'm fun, like, you're attracted to me because I have fun. It's not because, Gary's a good mentor. I don't mentor you. I don't really we don't do it, if you're having fun, even if it's painful, it's an adventure, right? But the adventure is where I find myself. I just will go over this over and over and over and over and over again. The adventure is where I find myself. And I don't find myself in safety. I don't find myself going on a date and getting a kiss from a woman, okay? I don't find myself there. I find myself in the mirror, in my life, and in challenges and struggles. How important is money to me? How important is money not to me? How important is my role? Like when I was 41 years old, I was making a lot of money. And I was sitting in the back of a car and I realized, hey, the only reason I'm here, I said, why am I here? Why am I still doing this? 600 people work for me. I'm in London. ExxonMobil has to call me to store natural gas. I mean, this is so ironic now. ExxonMobil is calling me because I control all the natural gas storage in one country. Bought it over a lunch table. I mean, it's a crazy story, okay? Crazy story. And I'm driving down, I remember I'm on the M25. I'm not driving, I'm in a car. I'm 39. Chauffeurs, fucking helicopters, airplanes. And I'm like, the only reason I'm here is because I make $7 million a year. I'm not having fun anymore. I had headaches every day. All these people, I had HR. And I called my boss up and said, hey, dude, I'm done, man. I'm 6 months, I'm gonna give you 6 months, but I'm done with this career. I think I can do something else. I'm not having that much fun anymore. And that would be the bravest thing I've ever done in my life. Everyone would tell me, do not do that. But what did I do? I did what my mother taught me to do, burn a bridge, dude. Now, I could still be in the energy business. I'd be making a tremendous amount of money, but I would be bored. I would be so bored. And chasing that business for money is not the right answer for me. It's not the right answer for me. It's never been the right answer for me. I rarely know how much money I actually have. My brother, he's ginned in on the numbers.
Right.
Me, I just have never really cared about it. So it just shows you, right? You take two different paths.
So that's more of a personal kind of burn the bridge. On the business side of the things, you said that the most money that you've ever made was on the pivot. On the other hand.
Oh, well, the pivot's the only place I've ever made money.
How do you know? Let's pivot. Let's move to the next deal. So on the personal
pivot. I think the word pivot. I've heard some investment bankers talk about, hey, don't use the word pivot. It's a real weak word. You're full of shit. You guys are full of shit. I've literally made all my money on the pivot. And by the pivot I mean, I don't know how much time we have here, but I lost $170 million in 9 months once, and I was in a trade that I couldn't get out of. Now we're talking about swinging massive amounts.
Businesses.
Public company.
Public
company.
And you're controlling that company.
I'm in London, and I'm trading a $3 billion a year spec book, total spec. Okay, by spec I mean pure speculative.
Your whole career is
dollar
on the line?
risk. Oh, my career is completely on the line. But we're part of a public company, and we're not supposed to be taking all this risk. Okay, like we're breaching every value at risk metric. It's called VAR. I mean, I'm in London. I'm getting phone calls from board members and CFOs going, "Hey, man, we've breached again." CEOs going, "Hey, what are we going to do about this?" And let's double the position size. And I mean, it's a big problem. I mean, I should have been fired over it. I actually raised my hand and said, "Hey, look, I'll write a letter to you guys. I'm a rogue player, you know. I blew the company up." I mean, it could have blown the whole company up. Nonetheless, the platform, the people that I work for, I'd worked for them so long, and they knew that I didn't mean to, you know, I got into a trail. I mean, you play this game, you're going to get your head snapped off every now and then. And in fact, I won't invest with anybody that hadn't had their head snapped off. Like, because you don't know what happens to a person when they get under that kind of. I was losing $5 million a week. Okay, like you would wake up Monday morning and go, okay, is it going to be $1 million or is it going to be 10 that I'm going to lose today? And who is going to be doing it to me? Because BP, Exxon, Shell, Conoco, they were all lined up, dude. I cost this industry 3 billion pounds the year before.
How did you go through this process?
That was very stressful. The cool thing is the woman that I was with at the time, she was an English woman, and people, you know, when you get some notoriety and you go to these parties, she would tell me, hey, people would corner her and go, hey, what's this cat really like, you know? And what's he like to live with? Because I'm a freaky, bit of a freaky guy. I like being a freaky guy. I've gotten very comfortable with being an odd character. And I think that's important, okay? I think you should embrace your weirdness. Most certainly, people that are normal seem to have normal lives. It's very simple, right? And I don't want to be normal. Like, normal seems really boring to me. But how did I get through it? Look, I was in it. It's like being in a baseball game and you're down. I can't just leave the baseball field. My boss wanted me to double down, and I was.
So he trusted you so much.
Oh, he trusted me so much. I mean, he's like, hey, let's just double the position. I trust you, dude. And I said, nah, dude, I can't do that. Doubling the position is wrong. I was wrong. This trade has gone wrong. I'm wrong. We need to close it out. Now, what happened? I went against him. I went against the CEO. I said, guys, I can't. I'm going to have a heart attack. It wasn't really I wasn't saying I was going to have a heart attack because I was going to die. This is the wrong position, dude. I can feel it now. And I have a really good instinct about markets. We closed the position. I went to the barber and had my hair cut really, really tight. I committed to go on to a speaking thing with the industry that had just obliterated me. And when I walked up with this haircut, I said, by the way, this is my opening line. See, I had to confront that I had gotten my ass kicked by these people. Instead of hiding and running away from it, I stood in front of everybody and said, if you guys notice my new buzz cut, all of you guys participated in my buzz cut. And it was my way of laughing. You guys had fun? I'm out of this position now. I got my head ripped off. I think I gained a lot of respect in that meeting. They're like, damn, dude, that guy can stand up, because they all knew it. They're all talking about me. We ripped his face off. I mean, they knew, dude, this guy's getting crushed. Enron's crushed.
There were a few players playing. Right?
Oh, man, they know. 4 months later, I would buy all the storage in the United Kingdom, 98% of all, over a lunch table. Now, I do not believe I would have done that deal, that pivot that everybody had. I had to go through that problem and go, hey, this is not sustainable. I'm going to get my ass. Now, I had made a tremendous amount of money before then. That's why I kept my job. I probably made $500 million, lost 140, 50. And then we went and did the storage deal, and it would just revolutionize the whole business. I mean, it'd be crazy.
Was it in the pipeline already or just out of blue?
No, it was storage you can't rebuild. It's all the storage in one country, man. I mean, Chevron owns us at the time. It was the shortest presentation I've ever given to a board. We would need to pay. I've acquired this for. I've agreed with British Gas to buy this for 155 million pounds. We have 92 days to close the deal. Chevron was like, approved. I'm like, huh? And the guy stood up. He said, anytime you can own and control anything, it doesn't matter what you pay for it, son. You're approved. Boom. I sat down. Deal's approved. Went back to London. Did the deal. That was another lesson. Whoa, this is how the big boys work. Chevron, dude, if you can control it, do not give a toss what you pay for it. That was a really cool lesson, right? So that industry, by the way, by spending 17 years in that industry, people give me a lot of credit today about being able to make some fairly large decisions. It is because I had a great education. I got an MBA. The moment I left school was the moment my MBA started. And everything else was bullshit. I mean, utter just chasing girls, smoking dope, drinking, partying, listening to good music, but not really having a purpose or a create. And that was what my mom did. She's burn the bridge, go do something, or you're probably going to end up in jail. And I got my game on big enough, and then I focused. The game was so big, I couldn't not focus, right? So
you said that you were giving presentations and obviously making deals, and I've seen you doing your reconnaissance missions, getting into a new industry. I was lucky enough to get on the third one, digital assets, where I observed you from the beginning, how you go and just learn about the players, meet them, greet them, and all that.
I'm very good at that. I'm very good at moving into another industry and learning. Like
that requires communication. And one of the things that you've noticed in the industry, where you had a lot of cowboys, you're like, and they're smart people in the digital asset space, Bitcoin. But a lot of smart people struggle to express their ideas like very clearly and just kind of dumb it down. You came here and you say, hey, supply demand, and you go, just supply demand. There's nothing else. Like you don't go into like I'm gonna give you a white paper. So the communication part. Did you have like a gift? Did you have a gift of that from your upbringing, or I don't know, your family or education later on, or you just developed that?
Well, I think the economics piece, that the thing I learned from the teacher about supply and demand was very, very instrumental. And then I learned in the energy business, I learned about the time value of money. Energy is a funny thing. If you leave a unit of energy in the ground, it's probably not going to get monetized for another 10 years. So if I could produce a unit of energy for $2, this is what got me into Bitcoin fairly quickly. What is $2 worth today relative to $2 in 5 years? I think it's $2 today. I'll take the $2 today. In fact, I'll take the $2 today over $4 in 5 or 6 years, because the $4 or $5 isn't really guaranteed, is it? It's a risk between now and then. So the time value of money, the value of money to other people for what they have, and this was energy. This was like, man, homes are being heated here. And we drove the price of energy from $7. Look, in the United Kingdom, when I moved there in '92, the natural gas price was 32 pence per decatherm, and that would be 176. So we're like, it's $5 gas, okay? I drove the price down to 8p in less than 2.5 years. Cost that industry $4.5 billion in 2 years. They were shocked. They were absolutely shocked. And then I learned the power of what one man could do to a market. What one human being can do to a market is staggering if they have the tools and the wits about them.
And it wasn't that it was like a developing market, like energy. It was in a way of technology.
It was. We were reconstructing the entire market. Look, all markets go through cycles, just like human beings do, just like the seasons of a year. Everything goes through cycles, okay? It's not complicated. You got summer, winter, fall, and spring. I mean, no market in the world, all it does just goes up, 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 up. It does. This is like life, by the way. It's exactly like life. Oh, Gary lost a bunch of money in 19 and whenever. What's he going to do now? Is he going to die, or is he going to like move through that S curve of learning, right? So it's almost like, for me, it's more like a sheet of music, and you know, you just got to be willing to go through the pivot's the wrong word, really. It's where do I need to, you know, if I listen to the planet, man, it'll tell me where I need to go. But I don't, just to stay on one little road forever and ever. I find that to be, I'm going to learn more about myself in areas when I'm learning. Isn't that amazing? I'm going to learn more about myself when I'm learning. Oh, gosh, this is so complicated. I'm sorry it's not more sexy than that, but the truth is, I don't think any of this is that complex.
That's the power of communication again, the point that I made. It's unbelievable how you can distill the concepts. Not many people do.
Well,
that.
I'm not here to sound good. I don't know why people, it's always irritating that people need to use big words, because I don't know that really, it may make the person sound awesome, but you're asking me a question, you know, hey, how do you define this? And it's like, well, you're going to learn more about yourself when you're learning. That means that I have to not know. Like, we make not knowing so wrong. Dude, I don't know shit. As soon as I go, I don't really know anything. Like, I own a hell of a lot of Bitcoin. I'm going to end up owning 1,500 Bitcoin before I'm done. That's my goal, about 1,500 Bitcoin. It used to be 500, then it went to 1,000, now it's 1,500. Now, why do I want to do that? I don't know, it seems kind of fun to me. Like, how wrong can I be? It's the greatest thesis I've ever had in my life. I am not going to meet the perfect woman. I've been married 3 times. If I run into this lady's like the perfect woman, dude, I get married again tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, I'd be like, let's roll, man, okay? Because I'm not gonna color everything that happened to me before, because who cares, right? Why am I saying that? If I would go meet a chick and like, okay, dude, I'm loyal to you, done deal, why would I treat my business any other way? People go, why you get so heavy? Why wouldn't I get so heavy? Dude, if it's the right deal, it's the right deal.
Totally.
If it's the right deal, it's the right deal. My thesis is either correct or it's not. And minimally, you're going to know I'm committed. Commitment has done me great favors. I've never gotten hurt being massively committed. I've never gotten hurt. Like, I've never gotten hurt being massively committed, even when people betrayed me. And it's happened, right? It's going to happen. So I just like I love the intensity. It's part of the burning the bridge phenomena. You know, when I met you, what I was impressed with you by was your willingness just to reach out. Like hey, I know you. I'd like to talk to you. And one of the things I noticed about the Bitcoin community before I got into Bitcoin, when I was starting to look at it, I didn't look at the price. I didn't look at the everybody talking about it, because I thought it was the most poorly marketed industry in the world. It's embarrassment how bad this industry's been marketed by the OGs. No offense to you guys, but you don't know shit about telling a story. It's horrible, the pitch. That would be one of my great ooh, this has been poorly sold. And then 2, I saw the people that were moving into it. See, I didn't really look at, like the first time I went to a Bitcoin conference, I spent $30,000 buying tickets. I bought the best tickets I could buy. And why? I wanted access, man. I didn't want to have to go grovel with people. I wanted to see who's showing up, and I'm just watching all these people. Oh, I know him. He came from bonds. He came from pensions. He came from equities. I'd go look at these guys' backgrounds. I'm like, my God, dude, these are all men like me. They're rogue players. They're monsters. They've disrupted other industries. They're walking away from $30 million a year jobs. They're walking away from this pension. They're walking away from that deal. These guys know something. Like, smell the damn atmosphere, dude.
Sniffing.
Like, I'm looking around going, whoa, these are beasts. And who were the people that hated it? They're people that I'm like, yeah, just another dude. He might be making $30 million a year, but he's not disrupting anything.
That's right.
Because he's part of the system. Like Jamie Dimon, awesome, dude. I can't imagine being Jamie Dimon. Dude, how bored must you be now? Jamie hasn't had a new day in 5 years, maybe 10, maybe 15. I don't want to be the CEO of a major bank forever and ever, my whole life. Yeah, he ran. Oh, dude, Gary did energy. He did 3 marriages. He's got some kids. He's an artist. He does fintech. He had a cool life
and
story.
And that's your one of one.
Well, I mean, why do I just want to, like, I'm on this planet. Why would I want to get into something that's like, it's going to get boring? And by the way, all of these industries go through cycles. They're never going to be robust enough to be interesting. Like, would you really just read one book your whole life? Would you listen to one piece of music your whole life? It would be like, it started to get irritating. You know, I'm struggling with this because I'm like, my God, there's so many different things I can paint. I mean, I think there must be 30 personalities inside of me because it's bizarre. And I have people that know art and they're like, bro, you need to focus. Dude, I am focusing. I don't know what else to do. I don't know how to do this other than to experiment with it. And I think experimentation is awesome.
Totally. Yeah, I think every team, every company needs a Gary in a way, because not every person is like that. You know, like just let's experiment. Let's.
Well,
do that,
I'm not sure
that
the problem is most groups aren't built to have a Gary, but I do
That's
agree
right.
with you. I have thought many times that, in fact, I've pitched this to a number of different companies, a couple of energy companies and some payment companies, and I said, look, why don't you set up a separate division for a guy like me? See, this is really, you set up a skunks division. You know, you just give me about a small little $2 million or whatever. I have my own little thing. Don't mess with me. You know, I have a good heart. My intentions are correct. Let me go build something around it. And but you can't mess with me. You can't put all that company crap on me because I'm creating something from scratch. I'm gonna blow through a bunch of canvases, okay? I'm gonna rip canvases. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna have mess everywhere. You guys don't even wanna see how messy this is. But most companies aren't built for that, right? That's why I stay private. Because I will never build anything public again. Because I love the ability not to have some 3-month, I have to report my earnings because I'm trying to build a masterpiece.
And you've done it, by the way.
Oh,
like,
dude,
you've been through it.
And over it. But to build a masterpiece, you can't sit there and go, hey, let me give you a report on my painting 90 days from now. No, dude, it's a masterpiece. Leave me alone, right? Why would I need to report and then lie to all my shareholders? Because the art doesn't look very good right now. Oh, it looks like crap. All my stock will get sold, right? I know that's not a great analogy, but
I think that's awesome because people get closed in the structure. And maybe that's their personality, maybe not. I don't want to go into that, but I totally get what you're saying, because like if you're like you've been always creative and you found a platform, and then you used that platform to launch yourself, launch the business like a launch pad, and then rinse and repeat. Go next. So, but then I asked you.
I don't know that it's really rinse and repeat though. I must say it's not.
Is it not
that automatic? It is almost like a new journey every time. You never really get so comfortable. I think I don't like really being comfortable. I don't think there's a lot of creativity in comfort. I don't think I've ever really articulated it that way. I don't think there's a lot of creativity in comfort. Now that may not be true. It just may be my belief. Right?
Yeah.
But
I
if
agree.
it's my belief, then it's probably true for me. So.
Two more questions, Gary, before we wrap it up. I asked you once, what can I do to become a smarter investor? And you said, go study history. When you told me that, I'm like, I was growing up in an orphanage. Like the only thing I was thinking about is just like here and now. Like I need to make some money. Not think about something that happened 200, 500 or thousands years ago. And then I scratch my head and I'm like, wow, if you say that, I'm just gonna start studying. So I opened up all the like YouTube videos and just started studying from like early Christianity, and just until present. And I'm still studying every day. That's what I do every single day after work. What did you always like history, or was it that part of when you took a break after the energy deal, after the energy career? You said you took a break for like 6 years to go study history, religion, get to know yourself.
Yeah. Well, I do think there's a lot of value in history. The problem is finding real history. I see history as, this is the truth. And the more I look, the more I realize there's very little truth in any of our history. Our history has been redacted grossly. People that lose don't ever get to tell their story. So I'm now at the point where I realize, wow, history. I mean, Albert Einstein is known as this genius, but I think if you do the research, you'll find that Albert Einstein actually stole a lot of ideas. Some of his ideas are complete hogwash, and they're being like undermined right now as we discover more. So the history I'm talking about, and I don't remember you asking me the question if I want to be a good investor. If you want to be a good investor, invest in yourself. That's the deal, dude. Like, there isn't going to be another one of you. You've had experiences. This is where the 101 comes in. Like, I got really, really behind Bitcoin on one of 21 million units, and that there is no other finite type of value money out there that can't be replicated at some price. Silver's at all-time highs right now today, $78, and at $100, they're going to find so much silver it'll be stupid. Gold at 6,000, they're going to drill the shit out of gold, and they'll refine it. And by the way, technology's coming along. What do you want to bet gold alchemy happens in my lifetime? I believe that will happen.
Now I know you like history, so I'm not even arguing.
Yeah, but
and supply and demand, of course.
Yeah, but my point is on the 21 million, when I think the price was around $800 billion market cap, and I'm like, you know what? Everybody's arguing with each other all the time. I'm just watching people. I'm a very good observer, and I'm like, okay, I am one. Because I'm an identical twin and my twin brother's like famous and all that stuff, it's easy for me to look at him and go, dude, we're really different. I mean, we are so different, it's crazy, right? And I'm like, oh wow, like we're so different and people confuse us. And he's talented and I'm talented. I'm a one-on-one, dude. Like I am never gonna get, why am I acting like I'm not more valuable than Bitcoin? If I think one of 21 million is valuable and I'm putting fucking hundreds of millions of dollars into this play, what am I worth? And I will never not appreciate Bitcoin for this one thing, my ability to go, oh my goodness, man, I don't know what finite is. This is how I get to the value thing. Human beings do not know how to describe value. Human beings have been taught to try to measure everything. This morning, I woke up at 6:30. I woke up at 5:30, then I went back to sleep, and I took a bath, and I laid on my couch, and I had 2 giant dogs laying on top of me for 30 minutes, keeping me warm, man. I'm in a little, just get out of the bath, right? I mean, I just got out of bed. These 2 dogs are on me. I've had a couple of cups of coffee. It was spectacular, man. The love they're giving. There's no dollar value on that, but it was like I am being, like there's love there, appreciation, and there's something real there for me. Like, would I really not want that experience? Now that may sound really dumb to people, but as you get older, like money is nothing. Look at the way I dressed, dude. Okay, $38 tennis shoes. I love my $38
Looks
tennis
good.
shoes. $38 tennis shoes. Okay, Greg got on one of my airplanes one day. He said, "Hey, what do you think of my tennis shoes?" I'm like, "They're cool, dude. $550 tennis shoes." And his wife's got a pair too. I'm like, "Bro, you're on my plane. I've got this one cost me $17, and this one cost me $17, and your shoes are ugly. I cannot believe anybody would pay $500." So money's stupid. It's not really like the whole gangster thing everybody thinks about. You know, it's not. It doesn't solve very many problems. It doesn't make you happy. It's never made me happy. I don't even know. You know, it's not going to be like I'm going to go use it. The more, and by the way, for you guys that are listening, going, well, you know, you can buy 1,500 Bitcoin, dude. It is harder for me to buy another 500 Bitcoin than it is for you to buy 5. Don't tell me how hard it is for you. Oh, I don't have any Bitcoin. Dude, I don't have any either. I have 0 cash also, just like you. I have to go figure out where am I going to buy 500 Bitcoin and how the fuck am I going to do it? Y'all sit there and go, oh, Gary's stacked. Well, what do you think, dude? I'm carrying cash around with me? Like, I'm out. I bought my house. I've done this. It's not like I can just call the bank, hey, I'll take another 100 million, dude. Drop it on me so I can go buy some Bitcoin, and it magically shows up. If you're 12, I'm no better off than you. I've got some skills, I've got some guts, but I still have to, it's probably harder for me to buy what I want to buy than it is for you. It is, dude.
Wow.
Seriously, when you think about it, because I hear this all the time. Oh, it's easy for you. Dude, it wasn't easy for me to do what I did already. And to go do another 500 Bitcoin, like, think about it. Now, I have to sit here and go, when am I going to come up with 40 or $50 million? And by the way, if that's my goal, I better not wait till it's 200, because it's getting ready to get really, like, it's going to be hard to get there. Which, by the way, is another reason I love this space, because you got real money coming in this space now. Real money. With cost base, it is very different than it used to be. This market has been, I could speak for 2 hours how fucked up Bitcoin is. For 2 hours, there's so many things wrong with Bitcoin that will change, is changing because of people of my genre that are coming in with real money and thinking about Bitcoin very, very differently than the $300 Bitcoiners. I don't know how I got off on that winding road, but the adventure is the deal, okay? And I'm going to just ask the audience a question. Have you ever paid too much for a great adventure? And the answer every time will be no. Never, and you will never meet anyone, I don't care how wealthy they are, Bill Gates wealthy, no one will ever tell you they paid too much for a great adventure. You are the adventure, man. Okay? Like, this is it. And if I'm known for anything, like if my ego wants to be known for anything, it would be, oh, that cat was a great adventure, dude. He'd jump off of a cliff better than other people. And he had it was a fun life, right? It was full of fear. Fear is an awesome thing.
Scary.
Being scared is awesome. It tells me I'm probably going in the right direction. People run from fear. You should run to your fear, man. You should look at your fear and go, what am I terrified to do? And go do it. Like I said, hey, I've never traveled by myself. Just to go to Peru and go see I want to go, I'm like, oh man, hotel by myself, just to be all by myself. I mean, could be boring. I could be boring. But I know that I should probably go do that because there's some message or some lesson in there that I'm scared of that until I confront it, I will never be able to confront it. And therefore, I'm not really in control of my life. Really, right? But I'll go do it for business. Now I'm beginning to say no to all that too. Like I've got people want me to go to Saudi Arabia for the round table and El Salvador for this and that. I'm like, you know what? Every time I get on an airplane now, I'm not painting. Every time I'm on an airplane, I painted 5 paintings last night, dude. I mean, these are monster paintings, dude. I could start crying. They're giants. They're bigger than this. I have no idea what I'm doing, but the night before I did 6, and the night before I did 4. And like now you're starting to go, dude, if you do 3 paintings a day, that's 1,000 paintings a year, dude. Now, there is no way I will not become a good painter if I'm doing 1,000 paintings a day, a year.
Reps.
Not possible, okay? Oh, doing is senior to thinking. Doing is most senior to everything, in my opinion. Too much doing, habitual, compulsive doing is sickness, okay? Like my ability to just sit still, and for all you dopamine junkies out there, you can't just do all over the place, right? Like try that one, try the diversity on your girlfriend and see how well that works. Oh yeah, I'm doing everything. She's not going to hang with you very long. You're not going to be a good lover to her. You're not going to be a good partner. So sometimes I need to just be quiet. I need to do quiet. And then, I know they're a bit paradoxical, but I do see people that get on the success train and they don't know how to stop. They do not know how to stop. And I don't want to be controlled like that, right? I don't think the great gifts are in that, because I've never met anybody that died that went, oh yeah, I worked too much, or I didn't work enough. Like read Steve Jobs' last letter, and it should shock everyone. Everyone should read Steve Jobs' last letter, okay? He died thinking he made a mistake, focused so much on Apple, okay? Wow. Like it's a hard letter to read. Okay, I do not want to end up with billions of dollars and go, fuck. All I did was chase dopamine and attention. This is why I just like being private. I don't raise any money. Don't have to report to anybody. I've got some investments. Hey, I don't want to be on the board anymore. I don't want to do this. I don't want to go to any meetings. And it's not because I don't like these people, but it's not where my heart is. It's not where I'm going to be the greatest I can be. And everybody's got to just follow their own drummer, You can't follow your own drummer if you have all these people in your head of you're trying to please. True. Right? Whether it's your dad, your mom. Look, nobody comes to the show just because you had some parents, whether they're successful or not, they don't know what you're supposed to do. Like I'm quite certain I don't know anything about my daughters, really. I don't know what they think, what their dreams are. I have no interest in influencing what they are going to do.
I hope they'll watch it.
Oh, well, they probably will not. I watched Scarlett interview Grant the other day. She did a great job. and they know more about what Grant does because their lives are really all embedded. But my children aren't me, right? And my children need to develop who they are on their own. And one day maybe they'll look and
they will,
see
for
what
sure.
I'm doing.
Gary, one last quick question. If you could pick up the phone and talk to the 30-year-old Gary Cardone, what advice would you give that young man?
I'm such a flawed human being, dude. I don't know that. What would I don't know that I would take much back, actually. I don't know. I don't know really. I will say that the work I'm doing around this. On Sundays I do this. If I can just take a little time.
Sure.
I don't know how I ended up doing this, but about 2 years ago I was painting one morning and I was being critical. I have a new rule now. If I am critical of anything, you, Bob, Mary, Bitcoin, whatever, my brother, my sister, if I'm critical of anything, I need to look at myself. There's no exception. As soon as I'm critical, I'm being critical one morning, Saturday night, 2 o'clock in the morning or Sunday morning. I'm like, I have nowhere to go. I've studied 4 religions. They've all let me down. I've studied history. It's all lies. I mean, like most of it's a lie. Don't even know what gravity is. Here we are, the 21st century, and you cannot prove to me what gravity is. So I'm pretty sure that those chemtrails out there are real chemtrails. They didn't just, there's 17 of them out there, okay? My God, dude, what are we doing? Okay, open your eyes. It's okay to ask questions now. So I look at all this stuff and I go, okay, look, what am I doing? I have no place to go to, and then I get this message. This has happened to me my whole life, okay? Smashes into my body, a real message. Well, then go do something about it, hot shot. You have a camera and you have an audio feed. You're in the 21st century, and and you present well. 10:30 in the morning, dude. I opened the live space on StreamYard, and I started doing this. I didn't know I was doing one of one, but the more I started doing it, I'm like, dude, I'm a one of one, man. And so are you, and so is he, and so is he, and like, we're killing each other. Human beings have no. Why did I talk about my dogs? My dogs value me, dude. Not because of my money, just because of the love. I don't feed them every day. I got a housekeeper. They love me because they love me. They've been hanging with me, right? You've met my dogs. They're cool.
Yeah.
They're cool dogs. And so I would say, one, everything that's got me here, if I'm honest and authentic, my story is not elegant. It's not oh wow, Gary became a perfect human being and then he made a bunch of money. I'm so far from perfect, it's stupid. I do things that are inefficient. I drink, I smoke dope sometimes. I do stuff that, like, I'm just not perfect, okay? And I see other people go, hey, I'm perfect. And I'm like, whatever,
there are no
dude.
perfect people.
This is why, the other thing is I don't like the whole celebrity thing. I was with a celebrity once, very well-known individual, and I lit up a cigarette. We're at a hotel, and he's like, hey man, let me have one. I said, yeah, sure. And like, he grabs it. He said, yeah, but let's come back here. And he wanted to hide from the people to smoke. I'm like, no, dude, I'm not moving to, what? You can't smoke? You're such a well-known cat, you can't have a cigarette? Like, you're a liar. You're a cheat and a liar. Like, it's okay, dude. If you judge me because I smoke a cigarette, like,
it's a great story.
Please, man, come on. I'm authentic. I look, and this is where, okay, so this is my advice to the 30-year-old. Dude, be authentic. Because it is the most rare thing on the planet. Name me one authentic human being. Really authentic, okay? Okay, like this whole thing with Israel and America right now. I'm like, hey, I don't have to pick a side. It's either a red, white, and blue flag, or it's a white and blue flag that are creating these problems. Pick one of us. It's either you guys or us or both of us. But at the center of every fucking conflict, there's a red, white, and blue flag, and there's a blue and white flag. By the way, until that shit stops, I'm not paying my taxes because I have a moral dilemma now. This is my authenticity. I am killing people. I am killing people by voluntarily writing checks out to the US government, and then they're slaughtering people in Poland, slaughtering people in the Ukraine, slaughtering people all over the world. I cannot continue to commit murder. Fuck. Once I know, okay, well, guess what? In order for me to be authentic to the 30-year-old, fucking man up, Gary. Man up and tell your truth. You know how many people are not going to like me because of what I just said? I will get 3 or 4 phone calls. Nah, dude, you can't be doing that, man. Okay? Well, okay. Get me off your cap table if you don't like it, okay? It's the truth, dude. It's at least my truth, okay? Show me who is doing all this bad stuff.
We're losing that now, right? It's all controlled, right?
Look, but the point is, like, if you make a bunch of money and you lose yourself in doing it, who cares? Because my true value is not going to come from... Look, when I was 38, I was looking around. I was a baller, dude. I mean, like, crazy. Gangster, okay? I mean, total gangster. And the very best, like, gangster against gangsters. I don't gangster against,
right,
innocent people. And I love taking on these big companies. And where was I going with that thought?
Going against the big boys, a gangster.
Yeah. The rarity of authenticity. When you really look around and go, wow, who is willing to tell the truth? One of my big complaints in business has been, wow, where were all the mentors? Nobody mentored me, man. Nobody taught me. I had to learn it. Nobody's gonna sit there and go, hey, let me teach you shit.
That's why I never overly call you because I kind of know what to do and you're doing content, so I
know
consume.
What to do.
I don't need to
you're
call you
exactly. People ask me to do this all the time. I'm like, what do you want from me, bro?
I was so happy when you agreed to this.
You know what you don't need anything. You need to just be yourself and keep going. And don't give up, and understand attrition's a real thing. Other people will fuck up before you do. Just let other people fuck up, okay? Because they're not authentic and they're not disciplined. They're gonna cheat, they're gonna cut corners. By the way, cutting a corner, you wanna learn something from a master of mistakes? Me? Cut a corner, extend your journey. Cut a corner, extend your pain.
Totally.
Cut a corner, end up in a fucking lawsuit.
100%.
Cut a corner, end up in a fucking shitty marriage. Okay, that takes you 17 years to unwind.
100%.
Cut a corner into your own authenticity, and you will not look at yourself in the mirror.
That's probably the most powerful.
It's true though, dude.
Thing from this whole deal.
But that Bitcoin got me there. I'm like, dude, I am going to be the most authentic Gary Cardone on planet Earth, and I will be known as just being an honest Joe. What worst thing could that possibly be? I have an opinion. I don't need to enforce my opinions on anyone, but I am me, and you're not going to change me. I'm just going to keep being more me, and once I figure out who I am, I'll let you guys know. But I think this is an endless journey. I haven't learned hardly anything about myself. Like literally, I have learned a thimble. The power that's sitting inside of me as a being is absolutely spectacular. And I have to learn how to plug into it. And people do not, I look at people, I'm like, my God, everybody's so talented, but we don't know how to plug into it. We're trying to plug 110 volts into like 500 amps, right? It's probably the wrong thing, but it's a mismatch. It's a mismatch, man. And by the way, I don't do any of that. Like, everybody thinks there's nothing happening here. I'm bigger than my body. You can feel it. You can feel my energy. She can feel it. She's 7 feet away and she's like, dude, this cat's got some energy. I know that's real. Well, if you know that you have the ability to shift energy, into something. I did something the other night on TV. I couldn't believe it, dude. Like just being authentic and doing it, not worrying about. I'm like, wow. I took a canvas like this, and I'm just looking at the painting, and I'm like, damn, I have all this fear. I have slammed into this white canvas. The fear's there, dude. Literally, I have impregnated a blank canvas with my own fear. From 7 feet away, I'm like, whoa, if I can do that, I can do anything. And I went on that damn canvas and I wrote the word fear, and I started painting right after. As soon as I wrote it and acknowledged how much fear is just to touch a blank canvas. Touching a blank canvas is, and by blank canvas, I mean a new page. What am I going to write? Whatever it is, right? It's just a blank canvas. Like, I'm going to create something from nothing. There's 2 types of people in the world. They create something from nothing, or they take something and they make it even better, right? Most people are do the, hey, I'm going to make it better.
Right.
I think everyone actually needs to start there. I'm just going to improve someone else's thing, kind of emulate, mimic. And then I start to go, hey, I think I can do something on my own. And I learned, hey, this is a skill for me. For, you know, some of the businesses I'm involved in, I pull back from them because my skill isn't managing something that's already got something on it. Not the real skill. There's so many people that are better managers than me. That's the other thing I would have learned at 30. Hey, do what you're great at, dude. Do not become a manager. Okay? You're a shooter. You're a killer. Hunt. I'm a really good hunter. I don't need to go manage people and sit in meetings. Sitting in meetings drives me crazy. You know, so if you're finding yourself, if people are looking, hey, you're not a good team member, or you're bored, or you're moving around, it's like, well, maybe you shouldn't be there. I'm sorry, the answers aren't like all calculated and precise, but I don't think the journey's calculated and precise, right? I have to keep reminding myself, hey, it's an adventure. The deal is an adventure, and sometimes you don't get to pick what part of the adventure you're on, right? I mean, you know, the great stories you hear about, you just look at the end. You don't think about, yeah, but that guy had, he was lost in a jungle for 13 days. Now, how do we know? He didn't give up. He didn't give up.
So Gary, thank you very much. Where do people go online to find you? I know you have,
I have
the
no idea.
one-on-one
Yeah.
on YouTube. That's something that if they put Gary Cardone on YouTube, they'll find your channel, and you do lives every
I do that. That goes on X, Rumble, and YouTube.
I think that's really powerful.
I don't have a marketing team. I don't do any PR.
You don't charge anything for that?
I'm never going to charge anything for. Listen, this is it's a pet peeve of mine. I don't have advertisers. I don't have promoters, and the reason is I will never be told what to say. I'm not a. I made a decision a long time ago. I wasn't going to be a prostitute. By the way, I think there's prostitution across the board for everyone. I've been a prostitute before. There's 1,000 ways to sell yourself. 1,000.
Meaning that someone tells you, right? Like
me holding back my truth is me being a prostitute. Me working with a company that's evil is prostitution. Me paying my taxes when I know they're being used to murder children with, what's this guy's crazy man's name? That is me being a weak human being, okay? And like I'll get a post back, hey man, you could go to prison. Dude, there are people that are dead, and you're worried about me going to prison. I should have the guts to go to prison. Like, what am I standing for? You get all this money? Okay? Somebody said to me the other day, he said, dude, you got you money. Well, then I'm going to say you. What good is having you money if you don't say off? Okay? To me, the 30-year-old, back to your question, success for me is defined one way. I have the ability to say no to anything. And I have the ability to say yes. to anything. Now that's freedom, okay?
It's a great metric.
Dude, that's freedom, okay? That is freedom. That's real freedom. And if you're not sitting there thinking about, hey, what is freedom? What is really wealth? I have no idea what the price of Bitcoin is right now. I don't care. I'm about, I don't have to rethink everything I've done. So, and I need to rethink everything I've done, right? I need to hey, is this the right journey for me? Just would like to end with one thing, which is not all of this, when people project on me, oh wow, look, cool life, he must be happy. I'm rarely happy. Okay, happiness is grossly overvalued. It's extremely ill-defined.
I agree.
Zero. There isn't one human being that has the same definition of happiness as I do. And by the way, my definition of happiness at one moment could literally be different in the same in a slight moment later over the same exact experience.
That's so powerful.
Okay? I was with a young girl, awesome, she's young, fun, until it wasn't. It was, oh yeah, and it was okay, but it's not. It is. So, go back to the time value. I am not assured of anything. Okay, I am not, taxes are not my obligation. Death, yes, death will happen. The question is life gonna happen? Okay, death and taxes, fuck that. Death and life, man, am I living? Right?
That's so powerful.
Dude, it's so simple.
So simple, yeah.
Right? Most people are dead every day. Dead, man. For what? For a $65,000 a year job and a 401k. I can't wait for automation, because I think 80% of the people that go to work right now, they don't even want to go to work. They hate their job. They're going to work because they don't want to hang out with their wife every day. Find something you're brilliant at, man. Right? Michelangelo didn't have an economics background. Okay, he worked for a moderate, reasonable artist. You know what he did? His first job, he was sweeping out a mediocre marble worker's dust. He didn't go to school. Okay, now what did he do? He got close to Rome. Proximity to power is what did you do? I'm in Poland. Now I'm in Vegas. Hey, I met some people in St. Pete. Proximity to power. Okay? Proximity to power. The closer you get to power, man, and magnetism, the closer you're going to be to power and magnetism. The closer your proximity to sin, evil, mediocrity, bullshit, wasting your time, is the closer you're to mediocrity. This is why you see me, and I think you see a lot of older people removing themselves further and further and further from society, dude. The more I go, the more I don't want to be around
totally.
Insanity.
There's all those places I never go
noise.
to. Never.
So shallow.
The only thing I like is the view.
Yeah. Well, there's some fun things.
I think this was the best interview that I've seen with you ever, and I'm happy that I was privileged to be here as a receiver.
Well, it's a pleasure knowing you.
Really, I mean, the knowledge in this recording is just so powerful, so I'll be going over and over again. Gary,
thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you,
Yes,
really.
sir.
Thank you for your time.